Day 30. I'm caught up. Okay, this once again. Did I have any penalties? I don't think I did. Fuck. I'll rewatch it, and if I did, I'll add them to my final video. Damn. Okay, my QPP, once again, because I'm fresh out of ideas. I know what I'm gonna do for tomorrow, though. It's gonna be, the last day. My QPP suggested that I do one of those Tumblr questionnaires where you have your followers ask you questions and you answer them, except I'm just answering all of them. And I had to write them down in my notebook, so that's why I'm going to be looking down all the time. Because I can't look at other things on my phone while I'm recording, so that's why. The Tumblr user who made it is called the YouTube tags, so props to them. Okay, I'll try to keep this as concise as possible. I wanted to find one that was more like TMI so that I can practice more confidence by answering questions that are personal, but Tumblr's tagging system is fucking garbage, so this is the best one I found. Okay. Number 1, favorite candle scent. I really like it whenever candle scents are correspondent to the time of year it is. So flowery, fresh scents for spring, beach scents for summer, autumny scents like pumpkin and apples for autumn, and Christmassy scents for winter. I love that shit. 2, which female celebrity would I want to have as a sister? I don't really know celebrities that well. Taylor Swift seems pretty cool. I kind of like her from what I've seen of her. I don't know that much about her, but she seems cool. 3, what male celebrity would I like to have as a brother? Again, don't know celebrities that well. I'll go with Ethan. Ethan seems like a good brother. Or the worst brother, who can say? 4, how old do I think I'll be when I get married? Fuck, I don't know. Probably never. 5, do I know a hoarder? Not a hoarder, serious problem, health risk hoarder, but my mother, and me, really. I get it from her. We, have things that we don't need all over the place. Our back, we have a big old house and there's not a lot of room because we just keep shit. And I enable her, which is bad. 6, can I do the splits? No. I used to be able to, sort of, but not anymore. My thighs, too big. My hips, way too big. 7, how old was I when I learned to ride a bike? I don't know. I kind of learned and unlearned as, time progressed. I remember the last time I rode a bike, I think, was... I'm really bad with remembering my age whenever things happen to me. But I was maybe 10-ish, maybe more. I don't know. That's upsetting. But I was riding down... That's the last time I rode a bike. I want to keep this concise. I don't know when I learned. I don't remember learning. Anyway, so I'm sorry. My memory is a bit blurry for things like that. How many oceans have I swam in? 1, I believe. There's only 2. Wait, no, there's 3. I know that. I can't remember which one it is. I think the Atlantic. I might be fucking wrong. I'm probably fucking wrong, but I have a 1 in 3 chance. I know it's not the Indian, so I have a 50-50 chance. It's probably wrong. How many countries have I been to? I've been to 3. I was born in America. I've gone to England to see my family, and I've gone to Scotland, right above it, to also see my family. So, yeah, I'm British, if you don't know. Do I have any family members in the army? Not currently, but my dad used to be. These next 2, what would I want to name my daughter? What would I want to name my son? I don't give a shit about gender whenever it comes to naming someone. But, and I probably will never, ever have children. I don't want to subject them to that fate. That would suck for them. But what would I want to name them? I don't know. There's so many names in the world. Like, I can't even choose my own name. I wouldn't want to subject a child to choosing their name. I'll just let them call themselves whatever they want. What was the worst grade I've ever gotten on a test? I don't believe I've ever just straight up failed. Unless, because in elementary school, they would do a thing where I may have gotten a 0 at some point based on some penalty or some shit. But I don't think I've ever, like, taken a test and gotten a failing grade, like a 57 or something. I know that recently I've not been doing great in biology. I've gotten like a couple 62s and been happy about it because I'm passing. What was my favorite childhood TV show? Depends on how young we're talking. Well, of course, probably SpongeBob. I watch SpongeBob all the goddamn time. Fucking love SpongeBob. I still do. What was my Halloween costume when I was 8? Fuck if I know. Like I said, I don't remember my childhood very well. I think I remember explicitly, I don't know if I was 8 or not, but I had like this punk rock suit, and it was like a skeleton, and there was a pink wig, and it was really cute. That may have been when I was 8. I don't know. Have I read Harry Potter, Hunger Games, or Twilight? I've only read Harry Potter. Not the other two. Would I rather have an American or a British accent? That's a funny question, because I kind of have both. Whenever I'm in America, especially the Deep South where I am, people say that I sound funny, and then I go to visit family in England and they say I sound funny. Because I was born here, but I was raised by a British mother, so. Did my mother go to college? On the topic, she did technically. She went to school in England, and they have a different system than we do here. But she technically has a bachelor's in nursing. That's what her schooling in England transfers to in America. So, kinda, she did. She has a lot of higher education, though. Are my grandparents still married? Only one of my grandparents is still alive. But she is still very much committed to her husband, who died back whenever my mother was young, actually. Have I ever taken karate? No, but I've taken taekwondo. I dropped it because all the children bullied me. I didn't like it. Do I know who Kermit the Frog is? I feel like that's a fucking trick question. Just like, of course I know who he is. So it's just like, do I know him personally? Do I know who his puppeteer is? What are you asking me? Of course I know who Kermit the Frog is. What was the first amusement park I went to? I don't really know what classifies as an amusement park, because there's like this shitty fucking shady ass carnival that comes around to my hometown once a year. So that was probably my first one, or Boo at the Zoo, because the zoo does a Halloween night event, and it has rides and shit, so that might count. I remember if that does count, then that was definitely my first, because I went there when I was 1 year old. Because Mom tells this story all the time. I was dressed up as Poe from the Teletubbies, and I won the cutest outfit in a contest. But if that doesn't count, and it's like bigger amusement parks that are like well known, probably either Disney World or Disneyland, whichever is in Florida. I don't remember. I really wish I could put my glasses up. I look like I'm like an old person, like reading some receipts or something. That's very niche. What language would I want to be fluent in? Probably Spanish, because, America is affluent with Spanish-speaking people, and it would be good to, broaden my horizons with communication. But if I went anywhere else in the world, I don't know. Depends on what would be. That's one. Let me make a note of that. Yeah, I do have a few penalties to make up. I'll do that next video. Last video. It depends on where I end up in the world, but as of right now, I would like to be able to speak Spanish. But I've tried taking a French class, And, you know, I'm past the good time of the brain to be learning a language, as is most everyone, except for 5 and under. Do I spell gray with an E or an A? I don't actually know, because I think I just say whichever my hand chooses first. I don't know if I actually make a conscious decision on which one I'm going to choose. Is my father bald? He super duper is. My hand is twitching. Stop. Let's try it like that. Well, that's another, but I did have to push my fucking glasses up. Okay. Do I know triplets? I do not. I know a lot of twins, though. Titanic or The Notebook? Never watched either. Have I ever had Indian food? I did. It was yummy. My favorite restaurant? I would say Chili's, because every time we do something with the family, we go to Chili's, so that's just like a lot of good memories there. But I would also say Sakura or Osaka, because I just really love sushi restaurants, and those two are really good. Sakura is really good, but Osaka is really good and really cheap. And on a tangential idea, I would say the Chinese buffet, because it's not good food, but I can have as much sushi as I want for $10. Wow. So I go there pretty often. Haven't gotten food poisoning yet. Have I ever been to Olive Garden? Yes, once, I believe. It wasn't that good. Do I belong to any warehouse clubs? I don't know. We used to have Sam Club's membership, but I don't know if that's still the case. Probably not. We haven't gone there in years. What would my parents have named me if I was the opposite gender? That's a fun topic. I always try to keep what my designated gender at birth is a secret online, but, you know, whenever I'm doing it in a video like this, you can see my face, you can see my body, you can hear my voice, you can take a guess. So if I had been born with a Pinor, they would have named me Alexander. But I would have changed it anyway, so it doesn't matter. I still don't know what my name is. Just call me Mala. Do I have a nickname? I do. I have multiple. Glue called me Mal, which is very cute. My Discord server started calling me Mala, which is great because that's actually, you know, what I called the shortened version of Malapropos Mongrel. So they actually caught on to that without me having to say anything. My QPP calls me Gully as a nickname for my the name I'm going by currently. I think I'm gonna stick with that name because I changed the other name I had chosen, and I've been going by since junior high, because everyone, which is Alexander actually, because everyone tried to shorten it to Alex, and sometimes they would call me Alexandra, which really made me feel bad. And it's just like, especially if you choose a name and you're trying to transition into a name, call them what they want to be called. Whenever they say, no, don't call me Alex, don't say, well, I'm going to do it anyway. Like, that was my entire friend group. Every single person. Oh, sometimes I would get called Al, which I actually did like. Oh, my face itches. Fuck. Okay. Willpower. So, yeah, Gully is short for Gulliver, which is what I currently go by. I just have an issue with the names right now. I just don't feel like any one name should identify anyone. My face itches, I don't give a fuck. Okay, let's make another tally. I don't think one name should identify anyone, because you're like so much more than a name, but, you know, for convenience sake, you should be responded by one, you know, formal noun. So it's something that you have to have, absolutely. And if you don't, then you're gonna be named anyway. This is just an entire box of shit I'm opening, but, you know, something that's been weighing on me for a while. And I'm answering the question, so I said I would be concise, but whatever. Who's my favorite person in the world? I can't just choose one. There's my sister, there's my mother, and there's my QPP. Those are my favorite people in the world. I'm not going to choose between them. Would I rather live rurally or in the suburbs? I'm fine with either. Like, I live rurally now, and that's beautiful and great. I love living where I live, but I also like being in this apartment, which is suburban. They both have their, their pros and their cons. I don't really mind as long as I'm comfortable and happy. Can I whistle? I cannot. Super can't. Do I sleep with a nightlight? Not whenever I'm at home, but whenever I'm in this apartment, I do. Do I eat breakfast every morning? No. Super duper no. Do I take medication daily? I sure do. What are my medical conditions? Here we go. Physical, I have asthma. That's pretty much it. Mental, I have bipolar disorder with psychotic tendencies. Depression, anxiety, general psychosis. I think that's it. My diagnosis changes all the goddamn time. How many times have I been to the hospital? I remember going once when I was really young because I fell out of bed and I don't remember how, but I hurt myself really, really bad. And I remember screaming bloody murder after I had fallen. And the only other thing I remember in the hospital was being given this adorable, really flat teddy bear. And I called her Dr. Bear. And I remember that explicitly. Very, very cute. And she had a little bow. And one day the bow came untied. And I was really upset about this. And my sister was just like, give her here. So I gave her to her. And she worked her magic. Whenever she came back, she had tied her bow across under her legs to make a tactical belt. I was very pleased. So that was one time. I'm trying to think of whenever I've been admissioned into the hospital. I went through 5 months of whooping cough and swine flu, so I had been in and out of the hospital during that time. I'll count that as just one thing. And then I was in I can never say the fucking word, behavioral, that's not it, but I don't care, hospital for about a week, a few years ago. Have I ever seen Finding Nemo? I have. I love that movie. Where do I buy jeans? Fuck if I know. Wherever they're the cheapest. Walmart, usually. What was the last compliment I got? Fuck. I don't know. It's probably from my QPP. I think they said that I'm not a stereotype, if that counts. And that I'm a real person. I'll count that as a compliment. Do I remember my dreams in the morning? I sure as fuck do. That is an incredibly important part of my life, is dreaming. I'm not gonna get into that, but that's based on why I'm moving into psychology. It's super duper important to me. What's my favorite flavor of tea? I don't like tea. Which is, I don't know if I've actually said this, but my QPP's nickname is Tea, so there's a lot of jokes about that, but it's actually short for treasure, because they're my treasure. Anyway. How many shoes do I own? Fuck if I do. I wear I don't know, a lot. I just don't throw out shoes. I have shoes back from elementary school that still fit. My feet are puny. What religion would I want to raise my children to be? Let them be whatever the hell they want. I'm not going to raise them to do anything. If later in life they decide that they want to have religious preference, then, go fucking wild. But I won't teach them anything. I don't even know what my I'm a spiritual person, sure, but I don't really know what I believe and what I don't. And I won't have children, so... How old was I when I learned Santa wasn't real? I don't know. I just kind of learned over time. I held on to that magic, though, because I just, like the idea of Santa. Very nice guy. And I still do hold on to that idea. Santa is real. Why do I have a YouTube? MarchusAnnus! I want to participate with Unus Annus while it's still around. Speaking of, that's the end of the video. It's 20 minutes long. I'm so sorry. Momento Mori, Unus Annus.